Hey, it's another VOD review. This time, it's me with my discard Bran up against a scoi'tael dwarf dude. This game is pretty interesting because of the very last play, and we're gonna kind of talk through what's going on here before that, though. So I've actually been I finally started playing rank for real. Until I think yesterday, I was like 1-3 because like 3 of those losses were like from disconnects or whatever. The server's issues seem to be getting a little bit better. So I finally started playing rank again. I'm on a bit of a hot streak, as you can see up here. I'm 21-11. I think I started the day out close to 50%. Now I'm up to 66. Feels pretty good, man. Feels good. A little bit of thunder there. So my toughest matchups have been up against the scoi'tael and Nilfgaard. Nilfgaard, as I mentioned in the previous VOD review, because they have that bronze unit, the fairly common, or it's not bronze unit. Yeah, it is bronze, but it's technically a blue rare unit, but you know, everybody has that card. And off that card, they can just steal your win condition through your mercenary or your queen's guard, which really sucks. I've actually been getting better at playing around that, or maybe the people I'm playing against are worse, but either way, Nilfgaard has been less of a problem. And now scoi'tael has risen up to be a bit of an issue, a bit bigger of an issue. As you can see, I'm only at 2-4 with them right now at a 33% win rate. And basically the reason why that is that they are capable of... So my discard Bran deck has to go all 3 rounds. Basically, I want to play my Queen's Guard and I want to play my Mercenary pretty much every single round because that's how it gets its value. It's over time. It's not one big chunk. Or I don't have any like big combos or synergies or anything like that. It's just kind of like brute force strength, but it's over the course of the 3 rounds. I think that makes more that makes more sense that way. And so the problem is when you go up against decks like this, against this this Prover dwarf deck, they can win that first round, and then they will win the second round because of their resilience. So that creates a bit of a problem, right? Because I had to win round 1 and then maybe go round 3, or I had to win round 2 and go round 3. I can't lose, obviously, I can't lose round 1 and 2. So it's a bit of a tricky situation. You kind of have to shut down, I don't know what this guy's called, but up here at the very top, the siege dude. And I also want to get like a little pen that I can write on my screen, but that's for later. But basically, I need to be able to shut that guy down so he doesn't get too big. That's where Dunnar and Hindar comes in handy because he can lock the unit, taking away the resilience. Cards like Yennefer here, I think that's her name. Is she Yennefer? No, she's Triss. If I Triss down one of these, it stops the dwarf from getting too big, and I can deal with it early. Similarly, I also have that the 5 strength unit that deals 5 damage and boosts a unit in your graveyard by 3. That's also helpful for trying to get rid of these guys. But the problem is, usually these decks go first with the dwarf. And I'm sorry, I can't remember all these names. And to be fair, I don't think many people do just yet. So it just be sprouting random nonsense. But anyway, so a problem can come in where the dwarf deck will actually play this one dwarf unit that will buff all of the dwarfs in his deck by 1 strength, which is kind of a problem because then my units that are usually trying to ping these guys off doesn't work. Fortunately, this guy didn't have that. That made things a lot easier. But still, that's kind of the strategy I'm kind of forming around playing against. Doesn't that sound beautiful? If you can even hear it, I don't know. My mic might be on too low settings. It's raining pretty hard right now. But anyway, so that's kind of my strategy when I go into scoi'tael dwarves right now. It's just trying to shut down those units as much as possible before they ever get big. And also I have this backup D-bomb. Actually, D-bomb doesn't help out a whole lot that I've noticed. But the alternative option was Alzur's double cross, which I didn't feel was doing enough. And so the D-bomb can sometimes act as my a last resort kind of card. Like right now, I'm just going to use it to try and, get these resilient units from getting out of control. Because if they do, then I have no hope of winning that second round, right? And also, it kind of hurts to have to draw into your mercenary and having to play it. I forget where that came from, but I know if it has 6 strength, that means I had to play it from hand, which is definitely not good. And that's kind of the problem with this discard Bran deck. You can actually get screwed over pretty hard by your draws if it's just not working out. Do I keep going through this? I think I go to the second round and then duke it out there. Yeah, so because I didn't let his resilient cards get out of control, if that's even the right term for it, the ones that stay over the round, if they got out of control, then I would not be able to win the second round, basically. And then there's Operator. Operator can be really frustrating because getting him If you play Operator on basically anything else besides Queensguard, then you're kind of running into a problem because usually your opponent can use it almost as well as you can usually do. Unless you have some kind of special strategy in mind in which you use it on, I don't know, like Clan Pirate and then discard a whole bunch of things. But that's kind of difficult to work around. It's usually not even the strategy you want to be going for in the first place. So that's kind of why I'm kind of cutting back on the Eldritch Double Cross, even though I do realize that can be a huge boon for the win condition through Queensguards. But I'm actually finding that I'm getting so much more value out of Mercenaries than I ever thought you could. So that's kind of why I've gone away from that a little bit and gone more towards the Mercenaries. And luckily, his draws aren't so great here either. It really sucks to draw into that dwarf and not have anything to use with it. Granted, the Broover decks usually have a lot of synergy with that dwarf, but I am kind of lucking out a little bit here. It's interesting to see this deck in motion, their deck in motion anyway. There's so much synergies with it, like every single card. It's pretty fascinating, as opposed to where I just kind of everything gets funneled into like 4 cards basically. The 3 Queens guard and the 1 mercenary guy. So this is where I'm getting a little bit uneasy, right? Going down to the very last round can either be amazing or it can be terrible. Thankfully, he didn't have any resilient units for me to face up against. But yeah, so now we're going to the 3rd round. I just barely eked by in the 2nd round because I kept his resilient units under control in the 1st round. He still has this revive unit. You know what? Like, I'm freaking out, man. I'm like, what? I got this 6 strength unit against his at least 5 strength. And if he has basically any card at all, he pretty much wins, right? So I'm freaking out. I'm like, man, I'm not going to win this. This is crazy. I'm on such a good streak right now. I've only lost 1 game in like the past 12 games. This can't be where it ends, right? And this is where Mulligan in the later rounds is so amazing. Let's watch it. Okay. By the way, I'm pretty sure I said this before, but this is my favorite change going into the open beta, having the ability to mulligan in later rounds to get those cards that are part of your winning strategy. So you see here, I picked up my 3 strength revive silver card. The silver card part doesn't matter, but there we go, man. I pick up my actually, I'm counting to see what is worth more, the Queen's Guard or the Clan Tier Skirmisher. I've been calling him Mercenary. He's a Skirmisher. I'll just call him the Clan Skirmisher. So as you can see, it's 12 plus 5 is 17. 18 is a little bit more. It's kind of difficult to think about what would be better or worse in this situation. I'm thinking about what Brewer's scoi'tael would take, and they usually don't even take that many spells at all. So I'm thinking, what's a way that he could come back? And I was thinking, oh, he could possibly turn things around with like a weather or something like that. Also, he could have a doo-doo, the card that, if I'm even saying that right, the card that copies an opponent's strength. That also could be pretty catastrophic. Generally speaking, I think Queen's Guard is better in this situation, but for pretty much every other class, going with the Clan Skirmisher is probably better, but I just went with the Skirmisher in the end because I had 1 more point of strength. Excuse me. Oh, it was so close, though. That was a beautiful game. It was so good. But it was so crazy. Let's see. Yep, you can see me right there. Finally at rank 8 after starting at rank 5 or 6. And I plan to try and get, I don't know, probably rank. I want to try and achieve the same rank that I had. Wait a second. I used to be rank 12 at like 3,000 points, 3,100 points. They kind of switched the points around, but anyway. I should be able to reach rank 12 here pretty soon, even though it's not the same actual ranking total. All right, next VOD review probably coming tomorrow, so make sure to look out for that. Thanks for watching.